Hello, and welcome to the first sort of vlog storytime video I've ever made. Let us gather around the fire for the story of how I ended up meeting my internet buddies that I made in the lockdown of 2020.
Can we bring yesterday back around?
Just like all of us, I was quarantined and bored, and it was through this that I would develop two very healthy addictions, Roblox and Discord, and it was through these means that I would go on to meet a friend group of about 10 to 15 epic Roblox gamers, and we all got along really well. We would talk pretty much every night. We would play our ukuleles into the microphone even though it sounded terrible. We'd play video games. We would create pointless drama. Everything that a friend group would do, just with the difference of us all being countries apart. And it was a really cool thing until about a year and a half in, we all slowly kind of drifted apart, and it was a very slow and painful process, and we all stopped talking, apart from three of us, being me, Lyra, and Thea. Me and Lyra actually had a plan to meet just over 2 years into our friendship, and the plan was I would go to stay with her for a little bit in India. For some reason, my mom said no. Then the three of us put our heads together and thought, why not meet in England, where Thea lives, which would be a way easier pitch to my mom after pitching a parent's worst nightmare. Speak of the devil and they may appear. Hello? About 20 days after figuring out how to book the flights and the trains and the other trains, I hugged my mother goodbye at the airport as I walked towards security, knowing fine well the dangers of stranger danger. While awaiting my flight, I tried the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks because everybody says it's so good, and it was nice. It was okay. It was just a little bit overpriced and overhyped, but it was yummy. I would have it again. My flight was then delayed by an hour and a half, then undelayed by an hour, so it wasn't that bad. And then when I actually got on the plane and it was time to board and I was sitting in the seat, I couldn't stop giggling at the thought of just being in the air. And also, the guy sitting next to me was a massive, tall Swedish guy who was really angry, and he had two phones. And when the flight landed, we were stuck on the ground for a bit because like the baggage car didn't come for a while or something, and this guy was just slamming the laptop holder in front of him, being like, "Grr, God, I hate this flight. Let me call someone on one of my two phones." I got the train that goes from London Airport into Paddington railway station, which took only like 15 minutes, and at the time, Thea and Lyra were waiting on me in the train station, and they were calling me saying, "Where the frick are you, bro?" Because apparently our train was coming very soon for us all to get on. Regardless, the railway system didn't fail us. I made it to Paddington station in good time, and I looked for them, and I couldn't find them. And then I turned around at one point, and there they were, just standing there, like regular people. I can't quite describe how it felt to see people that were previously just pixels on a screen in front of you in real life. 2D pixels on a screen are now 3D people that I could punch in the face if I want, or give a big hug to. On the 3-hour train, we spoke. We played mobile games. Thea bought some Oreos off of the trolley that was going back and forth. But then we arrived in Devon, where Thea lived, at Thea's house, and she mentioned that she's gonna have some friends round for a Halloween gathering. And I was like, hell yeah, new people, let's go. There was about 8 of us total, and everyone there was really, really cool. And we went out to this field, laid a tarp on the ground, and we all just lied down, sat there and spoke. And there was one moment where Thea was off talking to all of her friends, and it was just me and Lyra laying on this tarp. And as we looked at the stars and talked about our feelings, we were like, whoa, how did this happen? That was one of the moments that felt most dreamlike. Just being in pitch black, only lit by stars and a couple streetlights, talking about how this actually happened after literal years of anticipating something like this. It was crazy. The next day, pretty much everyone from the gathering stayed over at Thea's house, and we watched The Babysitter and The Babysitter 2 together. The second one was terrible, and the first one was okay. I don't regret watching it. The next day, being my last day in Devon with Lyra and Thea, we went out to see the street markets that were on that day, and it was the place to be. There were all sorts of stalls, stands, entertainment, food. There was a bunch of ladies walking around the street with really pale white makeup and red cloaks. I wish I got a picture of that. We went into a cafe and I heard a song that was really good, and overall that was probably my favorite day of the trip. Just experiencing a part of the UK that I had never been to before, and when the day was nearly done back in Thea's house, we played some music. I got to hear Chicago by Michael Jackson for the first time, which absolutely slaps, and I played them some of the terrible rap music that me and my friends make. It's not terrible, it slaps.
Here comes Pharrell.
Not long later though, it was time to make my way to the train station where I would be going back home. And as the train left the station, I waved at them, they waved back in reciprocation, and it was like, it was out of a movie, this moment. It was like, damn. I was instantly nostalgic for this entire trip the moment they were out of sight. It didn't get boring, or it got a little bit boring over the 3 hours, but the whole time I just had so many nice memories of my trip to tap into. Even though I forgot my headphones, I really don't like traveling without my headphones, but this was fine. I got back into Paddington Station. I had to wait a little bit, so I went to the bathroom, and I wish I got a picture again, but there was some guy in there who was giving himself a haircut. Looked like he had a skin fade going on. It was pretty fresh, I can't lie. I then got on the train that takes you to the airport, and within the airport, they had my favorite joint, Weatherspoons, you know what I'm saying? So we went into Weatherspoons, got the chicken tikka curry. It was absolutely bussin'. That almost made me late for my flight. I'm not even joking. I enjoyed that so much. I stayed for the whole Weatherspoons experience. Mwah. You cannot beat that atmosphere. I then got on the plane that went directly into my house, and me and my dad, we just talked for a bit about the trip. I showed him all the pictures. We, spoke about his traveling experiences. It was probably the perfect way to end a trip like that. And with that being said, yeah, that was my online friends meeting experience, and it was definitely one of the best weekends of my entire life, really. And I urge you all to go out and make your own online friends if you maybe are looking for a new experience, or maybe better yet, go and appreciate the friends that you have, be they online, in person, your pets, it doesn't matter, because friends shape you into who you are. And it's nice knowing that you have some kind of support network there for you if it hits the fan. So Go and tell your friends that you love them. I dare you. I dare you to be that one guy that says, "Oh, bro, you're my best friend." Be that guy that says it out loud. Thank you for sitting through this if you did, and same rules apply as always. Join the Discord server if you want some online friends maybe. I'll be responding to every single comment. I love you guys very much. Thank you for trusting this new maybe kind of content I'm going for that's a lot easier for me during this time, and I hope that you have a nice day.